Hi everyone, it's Deville from Fortress Solitude, and I'm back once again taking a look at some more great toys. Now, back when I was still a little kid running around my parents' home, one of the must-have toys used to be a toy called Stretch Armstrong.
Yes, Stretch Armstrong. Now stretching fun farther than ever before.
Now, Stretch Armstrong toys were figures that didn't have any articulation, but they were able to stretch out really long. And obviously as kids, we tried to stretch out these toys to their breaking point. Sometimes we were able to, and other times we weren't. But these were the toys of the day and the must-have toys that we had to have. Now, it seems that this trend of stretchy toys are back, and this time in the form of the Goo Jit Zu figures. I've got two Goo Jit Zu figures to take a look at. The one is the Goo Jit Zu Iron Man. Basically, you get versions based around Marvel characters, and then the Goo Jit Zu Pantaro. Now, Pantaro is one of the Goo Jit Zu characters that you can get as part of the Goo Jit Zu range. Now, I'm going to take a closer look at these figures. I'm going to give you my thoughts on them, why I think they are really great and nice toys for younger kids. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at the Goo Jit Zu figures. Okay, so here we have the two Goo Jit Zu figures. Now, as I mentioned, I've got the Iron Man and the Pantaro figure. I think first off, we'll take a look at the Iron Man figure. Now, again, what you'd expect, the figure looks like Iron Man from the MCU. The figure also has, and this is something that I really appreciate when it comes to the Goo Jit Zu figures, is that each one is filled with a unique consistency goo. So in the case of the Iron Man figure, I'm not sure if you'll be able to catch it on the actual camera, but the Iron Man Goo Jit Zu figure is actually filled with a shiny kind of goo. So you've got little shiny little particles in there that actually makes it look like he is filled with some kind of technological goo, basically. So each one has their own unique, call it filling of goo, which makes them react differently. And this obviously adds to the whole collectability of the range, as you not only get a different looking figure, but also one that reacts differently. Now, the Iron Man figure can basically do what it says on the box, and it stretches out a lot, getting back into shape quickly, and is very wobbly. Now, I have to say that although the Iron Man figure is really cool looking, and I am an Iron Man fan, I do actually prefer Pantaro. Now, Pantaro has a little feature. You can see he's got a little hole in his mouth there, so he can suck up water, and when you press his head, he squirts out water. But what I do like even more than that is the fact that he is filled with these little, call it little plastic ninja stars. So when you actually stretch him out, you can actually see these little stars moving inside of his goo body. They actually feel really good. To be honest, the tactility of these toys are amazing. I couldn't stop playing with it and just swirling around these little ninja stars on the inside. But you can see that they actually move with the goo, which makes this a really nice looking and really tactile toy. Compared to the Iron Man, which by no means isn't a fun toy to play with, but it's just this little something extra that makes the Pantaro figure my favorite of the two. Again, the figure is nice and unique. It's got a little ice blade on his one hand, and then his little claw here. Really nicely designed figure. Now, all in all, I really like both these figures, Pantaro being my favorite, but both of them are really great toys to just squeeze and just play around. And I have to say, my kids played around with them and a lot, and they just couldn't basically destroy them, even though they tried to really play rough with them. And as you can see, these figures are still in a really good condition. So what are my final thoughts on the Goo Jit Zu figures? Now, to be honest, I can see why these toys are such a must-have toy currently. The whole tactile feel to them, the fact that these Goo Jit Zu figures come in different goo consistencies, which means that some of them stretch easier, some of them take longer to get back into shape. The fact that each one feels unique not only makes them a great toy to play with and feel and stretch, but also makes it a great collectible, seeing as there's more than one, and each one is different enough to make it worth getting another one in the series. So collecting these, I think, will be something that attracts most kids. Also, I have to say that although the Iron Man Goo Jit Zu figure is really nice and it does stretch out very nicely and it plays really well and it is durable, I prefer the actual Goo Jit Zu Pantaro figure, mainly due to the fact that it's got these little gooey little stars inside that just changes up the texture a bit. If you are interested in getting one of these toys or figures for your kid, then you might like to visit the Just Fun Toys website or one of your local retailers, as they are available there as well. Just Fun Toys gave us these figures for review, so I'd just like to thank them for giving us the opportunity. But for Fortress of Solitude, I'm Deville, Louw, signing off.